Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
My name is Nike Ogunfayo. I'm a caterer. My brand is Classic Golden Pot Catering Services. We have branches in Lagos and Abuja. We offer catering services, basically food. That's what food for events, any kind of gathering, whatever it may be. We're there to cater to you and your guests. Chefs are trained. Chefs are, they have to go to school for this. They work on technique. They are fine diners. They usually their forte is restaurants, intimate kind of cooking. The major difference is that you find that a lot of caterers are not really trained. We didn't go to school really. A lot of us caterers start from passion. Starts as a passion and then it builds to a brand. Whereas chefs, they have to have some kind of formal training. It could be for a year, it could be for 3 months, 6 months, or a year, but it has to be like school, and they have to go to school for it really. And you find that there are a lot of they're recipe based. They have to follow recipes into dates. They are very intricate in what they do. But caterers are like an upgrade from Mama Puss, really. You can say that, right? But we just caterers are your like we eyeball things. We are for big events. We're for big gatherings, big parties, small to big parties. But chefs are like your intimate kind of dining experience, restaurants. I think that's the major difference. I've been a caterer for 9 years. I'm a second generation of caterer actually. I grew up in catering. My mom has been doing this for 30 years, and I've been doing this for 9 years in Abuja. The number one challenge we face is staffing. I find that it's hard to find staff that care. We have a lot of people that are just want to make money. They're just laid back. They don't really care. You sell or you don't sell. They don't really care. They're just in for the money. And then you find that the passion and the drive for it is really low. So we struggle a lot with staffing. That's one of my major challenges. Staffing, power supply. It's really grown from when I was in Abuja to now. I mean, I've been in Abuja for about 10 years now. The differences is a huge margin now. Before you didn't have you had the garden. When people were going out, it was gardens. People were going to gardens. People were going to eat fish in gardens, point and kill. But now you have a lot of restaurants. You have fine dining restaurants. You have Booker style restaurants. You have what's the word? You have restaurants that are not so upscale. I mean, you have different categories of restaurant now. And like I have an eating out culture. I'm a caterer, but I love to eat out a lot, because as a caterer, you get tired of eating your own food. I mean, you get tired. You just want something different sometimes. And I can tell you that the lifestyle has really gone. It's like 100% night and day. Really, you can't even tell the difference. Back then, we didn't have as much fine dining restaurants. Now we have so much to go to. If you want to eat, if you want to eat fine dining, if you want to do Booker style, I mean, the options are endless, really. I know a lot of people will probably want to squeeze me for this, but I would say that as a new generation caterer, the difference between firewood jollof rice, is that what you said, right? Firewood jollof rice and regular jollof rice is technique. You find now that a lot of caterers have migrated to gas use as opposed to firewood. And you find that if you go for events, you still have good tasting, smoky jollof rice. So I will tell you today, for free, that it is technique that makes the difference in jollof rice. Technique, and technique only. Jollof rice is simple. Basically, you have to have good stock. You have to have a nice tomato or pepper base. You have to have good spices, thyme, bay leaf, the good spices for jollof rice, and that's it. You see, there's no way to teach jollof rice. Jollof rice is based on, it's something that you have to have tried and tried and tried and tried to get it right. So, but if you're just starting, if you just want to cook jollof rice for your family and for your loved ones this Christmas, just have your good tomato base, have your stock, jam it all together, spices, Maggi, whatnot. Jollof rice is ready. Now, whether it's firewood jollof rice or gas jollof rice, that's relative. But jollof rice will be ready. I mean, the food is endless. There's no limit to good food, really. I know people are trying to stay away from the typical Nigerian jollof rice, fried rice, and our usually Christmas turkey and Christmas chicken. So good alternatives are like pasta dishes, Italian dishes, Asian dishes, stir fries. It could be Alfredo, it could be pesto, it could be like a tomato-based pasta, lasagna. Or if you're going towards the Asian side, it could be like a beef stir fry, a chicken stir fry, stuff like that really. The thing is that you just want to keep it as simple. You don't want to complicate things this Christmas. Nobody's trying to score you or score points on how well you cooked. It's a season to be jolly, it's a season to be merry and to celebrate. So just cook what you feel your family would really need. But I would say for me, I would go with Italian and Asian. Okay, if you don't know how to cook cooking is simple. If you can cook for 2 people, if you're trying to cook for 10 people, right? However you know how to cook it, duplicate it. So for example, you want to cook for 10 people, but you're comfortable with cooking for 5 people. Do for 5 people twice. There's no need to complicate things. You find that when you try to complicate it, you get something will go wrong along the way. Stick to what you know and duplicate it, the process. That's it. Simple. It takes time. It takes practice because I haven't actually put a number of days or hours or something to it, but it takes time because before a recipe comes out, it has gone through so many trials, so many fails, so many wins before it gets to the guests. To the event really. So it takes time. I would say it takes about maybe 3 or 4 tries before you can actually go out there to make sure it's perfected. It's the worst it's managing the families that are involved. You hear things like I'm the mother's brother's uncle's cousin. Really, you hear the most absurd things at events. You find that when people come to events and they don't get to eat, it's like the world is coming to an end. So it's hard sometimes trying to pacify them and just make sure they just sit down, food will get to you. It's hard getting them to be patient. I think that's it. But we've learned over time, how to get them to be patient. And then I guess as time goes on, when they see you work and they see you food going to different tables, you tend to sit down and calm down and then just wait really. The only way to handle these events back to back is organization, being organized. Having a good team and being organized is the only way. There's no other rule. Being organized and having a good team. First of all, catering, I can't do catering by myself. I need to have a good team. I can't run an event on my own. You have to have good back staff, cooks, you have to have good waiters, you have to have good supervisors, and you have to be organized. Everybody has to know what they're doing, their roles. It's easy for caterers to want to do everything by themselves, take on so much, but it's very important to understand that delegating, it's part of being organized as well. Delegating and having a good team, I'll say it again and again and again, makes the job run seamlessly. They're shocked because they say I don't look like a caterer. I don't know how caterers are supposed to look anyway, don't ask me. But I don't know why. They're usually shocked. Or they expect you to be obese. They expect you to be one old mama jama. They expect you to be like frumpy, I know frumpy, right? I'm sure you're wondering why I say frumpy. Just don't expect you to be together or to be young. What would I tell people about catering, right? Catering is the kind of for you to be a caterer, you have to have passion for food. Passion for food. You cannot be a caterer solely for the money. It won't work. You have to have passion for food. For not only for good food, you have to be a hospitable person. Your attitude has to be hospitable. You have to care for people. You have to, just show concern for people, really. A good host. Now, catering has moved from the era of one mama, one kind dirty business. Catering has evolved. Especially with education now, catering has evolved. Initially, I didn't want to be a caterer. I am an accountant by profession. But then, food has always been in me, in the family. It's always been something where you're thrown into the kitchen to just put things together and it comes out nice. I think that's where my passion came up from. And my friends will tell you that from secondary school and university days, I've always been that person to churn out good food. So catering is a very good profession. It's a very good business to be in. You have a lot of establishments now that offer training for caterers now, which we had them back in the day, but now you have so much. The opportunities for caterers are endless. It's not only restricted to Nigeria. I've had the opportunity to cook in Dubai, so it's not a local trade as people will see it. It's something that can be taken internationally. So if you want your child to be a caterer, it starts from now. When there's summer school, put them in a baking class or a catering class, those kids club, and let them just develop it. If somebody wants to be a caterer from now, it saves you so much stress. It saves you, if they're defining their career path already, it just saves you so much time. Catering is it's a profession that I want a child of mine to take on. It's beautiful.